Figures. They have to have congruent, corresponding angles, and they have to have proportional, corresponding side lengths. Similar figures are just a dilation, or they're scaled up or down from each other. Yes, this is what it means to be similar. Okay, so today in our activity, to get us started, what we're looking for today is I can look for patterns of similarity. I can look for patterns of similarity. And use new shortcuts for similar triangles. Okay? So today we're going to focus just on similar triangles and we're looking for shortcuts. So we're starting here at the top. You'll be given a handout with 12 different triangles on it. Some of them are similar. Can you figure out which ones are similar? Okay. I want you to list the letters of each pair. So list each pair in the table. You may not need all these slots. So again, there's 12 triangles on here. Some of them are similar. I want you to figure out which ones and why. Justify why. Turn and talk with your partner. You can write on this paper. Go ahead. Let's see if you can figure out the similar triangles. Go. Of similar figures. You can raise your hand and tell us. What's a pair of similar figures? Go for it. K and C. Do we agree? Disagree? K and C? Huh. K and C. They have one of angle congruent, but look at the rest of the shape. Does the shape look the same? We're going to put a question mark there. Some of you are telling me yes, some of you are telling me no, some of you are just staring because you're tired. What? A and D? A and D. They have a matching angle. 3.5 over 7 would be half, and 5 over 10 would also be half. So they have the same angle, and they have two sides that are proportional. Is that enough, you think? Okay, so we all agree on A and D. Thank you. How about another pair? Quinn? E and J. E and J. If we look at that, E and J have two congruent angles. How about the third angle? Do you think it's going to be congruent based off the information you know? Think about the triangle angle sum. Could I do 180 minus 30 and 92? And I should get the same angle? Get another pair? What's the next pair, Jaden?
B and L.
Say it again?
B and L.
B and L. B and L. 9 over 10 is equal to 13 over 14. Are those proportional? I don't know if those are proportional. Olivia, what do you got? B and I? B and I? Yeah, those are going to be proportional relationships. B and I. If you do 9 divided by 27, that's a third. If you do 13 divided by 39, that's also a third. Okay, let's keep it going. What's another pair of similar figures or similar triangles? Another pair. What do you got, Kaden?
H and L.
H and L?
Yeah.
H and L. Let's look at it. H and L. You know, they look proportional, right? 10 over 20 is 1/2. 14 over 28. I agree with you, those are proportional, but look at the angles. Yeah, so it's not going to be H and L. It's not going to be H and L. I got G and F. G and F. And that's all the pairs that I got. H and L, they look proportional. So the sides are proportional. But look at H. It's got acute angles. And look at L. It's got one obtuse angle. So the angles don't match for H and L. How about K and C? They've got a matching angle, but do they have congruent sides or proportional sides? They've got one matching angle. Just one. Not proportional at all. Okay, this should all be going down for part 3. And number 2, it says, what strategies did you use to match the triangles? What strategies did you use? What were you looking for? We were looking for congruent angles and proportional side lengths. Basically, we're looking for the definition of similar figures. Do we have to know all the sides and all the angles to determine if two triangles are similar? What is the minimum amount of information needed? I want you to turn and talk for number 4. Do you need to know all the sides and all the angles to determine two triangles are similar? Turn and talk with someone near you, please. Great. These are the scenarios. We have at least 2 angles that we know are congruent. By the triangle angle sum, we'll find that the third angle is going to be congruent. We could have 3 sides that are proportional, or we could have 1 angle congruent and 2 sides around it are proportional. Number 5. Can you prove that triangle FIG is similar to TEA by adding exactly 3 measurements? 3 measurements, and I'm going to be a bit more specific. By adding 3 side measurements. If so, which ones? Turn and talk with your team for number 5, please. Let's talk about what's going on here. If I want to add side measurements, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to find these corresponding sides. Those are corresponding. And I'm going to do 15 divided by 9 to get my similarity ratio. It's probably not going to be a pretty number, but that's okay. It is 1.66 repeating. That's my similarity ratio. To get this side, I'm going to do 12 times 1.6 repeating. And I get 20. Okay? These sides don't really matter as long as they're proportional, that they follow that I'm taking this number and I'm timesing it by 1.6 repeating. Does that make sense? They didn't tell us the third side here or here, but as long as they follow the 1.6 repeating similarity ratio, then we'll be okay. Number 6, can you prove that triangle FIG is similar to triangle T by adding exactly 2 measurements, and this time it's going to be angle measurements? If so, which one? So now we're looking at angles, and I know that angle I is congruent to angle E. Again, I know that these are all acute, right? I can see that, but does it really matter what they are as long as they're all what? What is important about angles and similar figures? Angles got to be what? Congruent or equal. So we just need to make sure it adds up to 180. And that these two angles are acute. So let's do that. Let's do some math. 180. 180 minus 48. You're left with 132. Are these angles equal in here? Is F equal to G? No. So just pick an acute angle. Let's say 67. Let's do that. 132 minus 67. Boom. So we'll make F 67, G 65, and if I write these in, all the angles are now congruent. Questions? Sides have to be proportional. Angles have to be congruent. That's the criteria. Okay, flip it over. Flip it over. From the activity and for number 4, I'm hoping we saw some of the triangle similarity shortcuts. We kind of already spelled these out in number 4. These are the shortcuts for proving triangle similarity. Two triangles are similar if, and there's 3 scenarios. We already kind of spelled them out, didn't we? First off, all 3 sets of corresponding sides are proportional. All 3 sets of corresponding sides are proportional. We call this side, side, side. Side, 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 or SSS. That's the shortcut. If I know all 3 sets of corresponding sides are proportional, then by SSS, the triangles are similar. Okay? The second scenario is 2 sets of angles are congruent. 2 sets of angles are congruent. Can anyone guess what this is called? 2 angles, congruent. Angle, angle similarity. A. Got it? Last scenario. 2 sets of sides are proportional. 2 sets of sides are proportional. And there's an angle, congruent angle between them. Congruent angle between them. Can anyone guess what this abbreviation is going to be? Yeah, go for it. Side, angle, side. These are your 3 similar shortcuts. Similar triangle similarity shortcuts. You should notice that I cannot do side, side, angle. I can't do side, side, angle. I can't do angle, side, side. Not possible. One way you should also know that is it spells a bad word. If I said angle, side, side. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Okay? That is not one of our triangle similarity shortcuts. Got it? Got it? I know it's funny, but it's just not true. Like, I can't prove 2 triangles are similar if I have an angle and 2 sides are not surrounding that angle. Got it? Cool. Great. I want you to do the check for understanding number 1 and and number 2. Number 1, number 2. Let's see if you can do it. Ready, set, go.